important to us, and one of the most important of those is passing on the torch from our class to yours as the very unique distinction of being the green class. So you are going to hear some things about our class next year, and I'm here to tell you we're kind of the black sheep of campus. Partly because people think we don't participate enough, but I'm here to deny that reputation. Our class is so unique, and I know your class will be too, because green class is steadfastly committed to our education, to respecting each other, and always creating a safe space for one another on our campus. Everyone in our class feels loved and supported. And I'm going to be honest with you, you've got huge shoes to fill. The women that I've spent the last 4 years growing alongside are phenomenal. They are kind and smart and funny, and they are so courageous. We're confident you'll be able to carry on this legacy for us and never forget the women that came before you. We're trusting you to represent everything that we've come to love about being green, and we're so excited to hear about all the things you're going to do in your 4 years at Agnes.
So I have to have a little disclaimer. Your experience at Agnes Scott is going to be a bit bumpy. Especially your first semester and your first year, you're going to fall down and scrape your knees. My first semester, I didn't do so well on my first set of assignments. I did not get along with my roommate. I could not stand that she felt the need to eat collard greens in our room with the heat on. I was terribly homesick, and I doubted my decision to come to Agnes Scott when I would look at my friends, high school friends' college experience on Facebook, and my experience didn't look the same as theirs. But I'm here to tell you there is no comparison between your life at Agnes Scott and anyone else's. Life here looks different and feels different. And you have an extraordinary network of people who have fallen in that hole, but know how to get out of it. My advice is to let them jump in with you and help you find your bliss at Agnes Scott. We've all been there, and we can all help. We have been rejected for internships and fellowships and scholarships. We've had our hearts broken. We have worked hours on a paper for a professor just to say, not really good enough. We've not always gotten along with our roommates, me especially. We've missed our moms. But these are setbacks that have not defined our experience at Agnes Scott, but have enhanced it. You belong to a community that understands, who gets it, and who can help.
My insider tip comes from a place of being from a small town. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas originally, and moving 10 hours across the country to Atlanta was exciting and scary. But that being said, my insider tip is that never, ever, ever neglect what it's like to live in Atlanta. If you are from here, it is different as a college student. If you are not from here, you cannot imagine how incredible it is to be a college student in this town. There are 250,000 undergraduate students in the Atlanta metropolitan area. That is bigger than my hometown. That is unbelievable. One of the best things about attending Agnes Scott and being a part of this undergraduate community at large is that your social life is never going to be limited to what parties are on college campuses or what parties are on your college campus. If you wish to spend every single weekend of yours at an art museum, at a festival, at a shop, at a funky concert, you can do that. Atlanta has been the coolest place to live, and I promise you, if you take advantage of that and you live your social life out through the Atlanta community, you will develop into such a cultured and exciting person.
All right, so you and I, we're all graduating in just a few weeks. And while that comes as a relief in many ways, I am sure there are plenty of things you already know you're gonna miss. Your friends, your school, all your inside jokes. So I wanted to share with you some of the things I'm going to miss most about Agnes Scott, which I think captures what makes my day-to-day life here extraordinary. And it's the people. We have a beautiful community that leaves me smiling at the end of every day. I'm going to miss my roommate Peyton. We have shared a single living space for 3 years, and while there are days I can hardly stand her and just need my space, I can also hardly fathom the thought of us moving to new states this summer, not together. I will miss her choreographing her dances around the room while I eat Nutella by the spoonful. I will miss waking up to her mumblings in her sleep. I think I will miss Miss Carrie in the dining hall who scans my card every day and who every single day asks me how I'm doing, who remembers when I'm sick and makes sure that I'm getting enough sleep and eating well, and who every day, without fail, it reminds me that she and I live blessed lives. I will miss Professor Kathy Scott's interpretation of a British parliamentarian that comes across as a screeching screech between Margaret Thatcher and Julia Childs. Both Lyndsey and I have nearly fallen out of chairs in class because we were laughing so hard. And she reminds us that all classes need a little bit of silliness. I will miss walking into the Office of Admissions once a week for tours, for stopping by and saying hello to all the counselors, for admiring Kathleen's adorable outfits. I will miss giving y'all tours and watching you fall in love with this college. When you and your parents realize that when I describe the typical Agnes Scott student, I'm actually describing you and your kids. I will miss my dear friend Mega, whose face lights up every single time we see each other in the library, and no matter what she's doing, she'll stop studying just to ask me how my day has been going. I will miss spending an hour in Professor Robin Morris's office on an almost weekly basis, leaving with a page-long reading list of more books I need to read when I have some more spare time and I'm not reading all the books for her class. I will miss the people who have made Agnes Scott my home for the past 4 years, who have cheered me on, who have challenged me, who have embraced me for my imperfections, and have never doubted that I am enough and remind me of it every day.
So we have some more advice of things to do before you get to college. I have 2 tidbits. The first is learn to do laundry now. That's for the parents. For the students, when you do that laundry in Winship Basement, always dry on the delicate cycle because it will eat your underwear. Secondly, create a Netflix bucket list because sometimes at the end of a long day, all that can make you smile is binge watching The West Wing.
I recommend that you go ahead and invest in some really sturdy shower shoes. I recommend like the full clog Crocs. They're not pretty, I know, but I've worn them every day for 4 years. They're just the best. And as tempting as it is to maybe get a plate from every single station in the dining hall, I recommend maybe like adding a salad in every now and then. I mean, like I've heard this rumor vegetables are like good for you. I don't know what it's all about.
And lastly, the big thing we want to address is maybe the elephant in the room, but it's the prettiest, best elephant we have about Agnes Scott, and that is the fact that you are about to attend a women's college, and that's a very, very unique thing. Over the summer, I think it's important that you spend some time thinking about what your decision is going to mean for you, and maintain the confidence that it takes to be brave enough to say, I'm a woman who wants to attend a women's college, and I'm excited for all the opportunities that that unique experience is going to offer me. Last year, a really popular blog was written by a student at another women's college, and you'll notice once you get to Agnes Scott that any article written about women's colleges goes viral on your Facebook feed within 5 minutes. One of the quotes from it that, this article's over a year old, and I think about this quote almost every day, and this is written by a women's college undergrad student, currently in school. She said, "By constantly defending my decision to attend a women's college, something I began doing almost as soon as I mailed in my acceptance, I was able to examine and understand my own motives, and I found that self-reflection to be immeasurably helpful. Your decision to attend a women's college is something unique that you will not share with everybody, but do not let that deter the things that you see when you came to this campus and said, this is something I want for myself. Attending a women's college is easily the best decision that I've ever made, and I can honestly think, if I would have met myself now 4 years ago, I would not have recognized myself. The things that you love about these Agnes Scott students, that is innately connected to the fact that we attend a unique network and we're part of a women's college."
I have to agree. I would not know Elizabeth Rowe 4 years ago, in particular because I am a shy introvert who doesn't like talking in front of people. And there's a lot of you here. It's really okay. So my voice at Agnes Scott is celebrated. But when I enrolled at Agnes Scott, the first thing someone at my high school told me was, therefore, I must be a lesbian. lesbian, I was sure to become one come graduation. It was really kind words spoken. But choosing a women's college is not an easy choice, and it's made all the more difficult by comments like that. But I chose Agnes Scott because being an individual here is a daily celebration. Agnes Scott honored my voice, and even though it is soft and not always the loudest in the room, it is always heard. I am unique, and I am recognized for it. We are a community of individuals from those who teach here, work here, and study here. You are here because you can see yourself here, as yourself. Because you have had dreams that can shatter the roof off of any ceiling. There is no comparison between you and someone else, and Agnes Scott cherishes that.
So in my last bit, I would like to say that you have the most rewarding and challenging 4 years ahead of you. And we are so excited for you to take that journey as Agnes Scott students. You cannot begin to imagine how much the school is going to change your life for the better.
So on behalf of Lyndsey and myself, we would like to officially pass along not only our class color and our spunky, slightly off-centered class spirit, but we also pass along to you a place to be yourself, to honor your voice, and to become the woman you have always dreamed of becoming. And of course, we would like to congratulate you on your acceptance